Oh, Kenya. Kenya, Kenya, Kenya. Picking fights. Literally picking fights with these women who actually gathered. Well, they gathered because you invited them. And then you're picking fights with them about all the fun that was had because you got jealous. You got jealous. When all along, you can't even win the most important fight that you have that's going on. You got a fight at home that you're not doing so well with. Or you don't even have time for this other stuff. I'm just saying. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 13, episode 11. Poor Kenya is out here wanting to fight. It's misplaced anger. It's misplaced anger. It's jealousy and envy is what she's doing with the girls. Jealousy, envy, and misplaced anger. Recipe for a complete disaster. When all along you got a fight going on at home and you are being dragged by your hair. You ain't got no time for nobody else, sis. And that's for real. That's for real. For real. In reality, girl, the fights you should be concentrating on, you ain't even swinging in. And you getting busted up. But you think you're doing all right. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. The face crack heard all around the living rooms of America, honey. Anyway, first thing, Miss Cynthia, you know what? Girl, I love Cynthia. I think I do. I just love Cynthia Bailey because you are such a good sport about stuff that some people would just like crawl into a hole. But not our Cynthia. Cynthia take it on the chin and be like, whatever. You know, like, whatever. And I love that about Cynthia. I really, really do. You all seen my thumbnail. You know some of these other girls would have cringed, balled up, and died on the spot. Baby, that foot was ashy. Oh, that Listen, Cynthia, I understand. I understand. Listen, I'm dark-skinned, African-American person. I'm brown. I'm real brown and chocolatey, honey. And it be like that. But oh, poor Cynthia, she looks so pretty. She looks so pretty sitting there talking to her mom and her sister and Noelle. She just looked so gorgeous. She did, her face was beat, hair was flawless. She just, you know, teddies out. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And you know Bravo ain't shit. They panned on down, baby. Okay. And you can tell she probably had on some type of cute, because she, listen, one thing, Cynthia is going to slay a maxi dress. Now that's one thing. Up on here, Cynthia and Kenya, them two slay a maxi dress. There is nothing more sexy and beautiful than a black woman, just sauntering around the house in a maxi dress. Just something about it. I don't know what that is. And even, you know, my other nationalities of women, it's like, it's a whole diva moment, you know, because it's back to, you know, back in the day, you know, like far back, the further back you go, women were always dressed and pushed and pulled up, and they wore gowns and stuff. Like the further you go back, you keep going back, like go to colonial. Folks walk around in gowns and stuff. Even when you go back to, hell, oh, it was always long garments on women, and it's just something, and they're able to maneuver, and a real woman doesn't trip over it. You know, they'll see, and I'm a whole drag queen up here. See, we want to do a whole nother thing, but this is my thing. Women, And one of the things I love about a woman, things that I study, because I am a drag queen and I study females. I always have. You know, even when I didn't know why I studied them, I'm studying them. And even when you go all the way back to like slavery times, women, they had like abundant garments and things were long and flowing on them and they didn't trip over it and they knew how to maneuver. It's just something about a woman walking around and she has like this abundance of fabric going and she's not getting tied up in it, she's not getting tripped up in it. It's just something I just kind of, that's one of my things. I just admire it. I really do. I admire it. And that's why I say even, and there's probably, I'm probably paying attention to things that I probably shouldn't even be paying attention to, but it's even going back when you see like old movies with women who are in slavery and stuff. They're like out there in the field. They have these garments on and you don't see them where the garments, they're not tripping over them. They're not. So it's, for me, it's real serious. I'll be paying attention to that stuff. That's like a woman. That is like, I love that. That is just, I admire that. And I just find it so, I don't even know. I don't even know any further how to explain. I probably could do a whole video about that. But like I said, women all the way back, colonial times, slavery, moving forward, like coming all the way up, and to now, you see Kenya wears them all the time. Kenya wears maxi dresses all the time. You never see Kenya tripping all over fabric and nothing like that, and it looks so gorgeous on her. And I actually, the way Kenya's body is, I love Kenya in dresses that flow down from her waist. Love it. Love it. Same thing with Portia. Portia is another one. And Portia will wear the hell out of a maxi dress. Wear it out. And it just flows on her. And it's so natural. And it's that's beauty. That is beauty to me. And that is something that I look and I say, that's what's up. But anyway, Cynthia was sitting there with this maxi dress on. I can't believe I went on a whole rampage about that whole thing. But that's okay, because this is my shit. This is how I do what I do. Now I'm getting down off my soapbox. But boom, 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 bam, and then I'm back. I love me a black woman. Black. Any shade she come, but black, African American woman walking around in a long flowing gown or a maxi dress. Baby, you want to catch my attention? You got my attention. You ain't tripping all over the fabric and everything. I'm right in there and I'm like, you better. You better. So anyway, but Cynthia's sitting there looking beautiful, and you could tell she had on like some cute sandals or something. Now, this is the thing about the brown skin. Because Cynthia's nowhere near, my complexion, but she's brown. She's a brown girl. And you could tell she had on like a cute sandal or something, and child, she took it off, and that foot will ash up. Baby, listen. We will ash up, honey. My Cynthia was sitting over there, baby, and she had her foot, and she said, listen. Noelle's the one that called her out. Noelle mentioned it, and she was like, child, oh well. I'm just going to go ahead and cover that up, because they probably already got it. Yeah, you know they did. You know they did. You know they did. But I was here for it. I love Cynthia. I was like, girl, it don't matter. It don't matter, because you was slaying, sis. You was killing the scene. You look absolutely breathtaking. Ashy ass foot and all. Now that foot truly looked like my Cynthia was in there kicking flour around on the kitchen floor. But that's all right, Cynthia. I love that about Cynthia, man. But anyway, here's another. We just going to transition right into the first thing that I saw. That was later on in the episode. The first thing I saw in this episode was my Cynthia girl. She talking. She chatting. Listen. I don't know, Cynthia. You telling your friends, these are your friends, you telling your friends that you masturbate to them? Let's see, here we go. We can derail again, y'all. Give me a moment. I have a friend who we were cool. We were cool. Um, and me and this friend, we used to hang out a lot back, this was years back. And we would be talking on the phone. And we weren't like in a dating thing or anything like that. We were just friends. And we were cool. Okay. We were both cool. And we just hung out. He would come over and stay at my house sometime. Like he'd be at my house and we might fall asleep watching a movie or whatever. We were cool. It was same kind of like the same. Not it definitely is not the same as my friend Chet. Y'all know I call Chet my brother. We are like that's my bestie. We're like brothers. So it wasn't that we're not that close, but some of the same stuff that me and Chet would do. I've been to Chet's house, might stay there, fall asleep and stay there when we lived in the same city. Same thing. Chet stayed night at my house, no big deal. Same thing with this friend. So it was very platonic, but I mean, I kind of knew he digged me a little bit, but not like that. We just wasn't going there. So there was a time when we were on the phone, honey, and I'm talking to him, and he said he was in the tub. And I was hearing little splashes of water. But we just keep talking. And I'm like talking, I talk like I talk to y'all. I'm just rolling with it, talking. And he said to me, just keep talking, keep talking. And I was like, are you listening? No, he says, yeah, I'm listening, keep talking, keep talking. And it clicked. I ain't totally stupid. It clicked. And I just got tickled. But I was like, oh. And I was like, oh my goodness. It was kind of uncomfortable. It was like a weird thing, a weird feeling. And I was like, okay. And then I never mentioned it. I never mentioned it again. I never said nothing. Went on. And literally maybe about a year or two after that incident, he had made a statement and said, oh yeah, back in the day, I would have loved to have, had it with you. I would have loved to have had it with you. But I didn't want to mess. I was scared that maybe you wouldn't like me back. And then I didn't know if it would mess up our friendship. I'm like, child, probably, because probably would have. But it took me back to the little splatter of the water. So I said all that to say, oh God, see, that could have been a whole nother story time video. But whatever, listen, it's just too much. Do you see how it's flustering? It's like, and that's how I felt. And I felt that same way when Cynthia was telling that story about her masturbating to her friends. She watched the girls getting down, and then she went in there and pleasured herself. And then you said it out loud. I was like, I know how I felt when I realized that the person was doing that. Oh, Cynthia. Shit. But that's Cynthia. She don't give a shit. Like, she's cool. She could, if somebody brings it up again and like throws it back at her, Cynthia would just take it on the chin. I would cringe if I came out and said something like that. And I would cringe. It was weird. Anyway, y'all tell me, I done went on about that way too long. Y'all tell me in the comments, how'd you feel about that? How would you feel if one of your friends tells you, yeah, I masturbate to you, and y'all are friends, y'all not dating, y'all are just friends? We might have to do a video on that. We might have to get together and have a chat. Treasure Lane. We might have to have a chat. Anyway, that'd be a late night chat, I think, because I think we way off. Anyway, no, but I'm back. Let's go. Okay, so Cynthia told to tell everybody she masturbated to the friends. I'm leaving it alone. Drew and Latoya. There was a whole little thing with them where Latoya and Drew, it was like a whole little thing. Latoya says to Drew, what married woman would be like doing all the stuff that she was doing with Bolo? And Drew was like, wait a minute, girl, why are you coming for me? Like, what's up? Why are you coming for me? And she's like, come on, biggest fan. Like, why are you doing it? She said, that's right. I'm your biggest fan. I'm your only fan. I was like, whoa, Latoya. Okay. All right. This was like the last dinner. At the last dinner, I was like, wow. Okay, sis. All right. Anyway. Listen. Also, we're going through some other little stuff. I'm laughing out loud. Laughing out loud, honey, at that doggone Bravo again when they flipped back and showed a little piece of Kenya laying there opening her legs, and they was playing that creaking sound, like that old door creaking sound. I said, they are so shady. So shady. So shady. Kenya continued to hold court at the table, okay? Goofy ass Tanya busts out and verifies that she was in Portia's room overnight. I said, Lord have mercy. That was it, Tanya. You told it. So now what we think happened, I'm me myself, I'm pretty settled that I believe it was Tanya and Portia that had whatever they had with Bolo. I still say I believe that it was Portia that got everything handled, and Tanya just messed with Portia. I don't think that Bolo penetrated Tanya, but I think that Tanya had her a great time with Miss Portia. I believe that. I believe she's definitely working the light switch and working Miss Portia while Bolo was going to work, honey. I said, my goodness. Then when Kenya said, I think if it happened here, it's disgusting. You should have done it in your own home, not here. My child is here. Girl, your child wasn't in the room with them. Your child wasn't even on the same floor as them. First of all, you was giving creepy ass peeping Thomasina, honey, and tiptoeing around in the tulips and in the kitchen, listening for somebody to be doing it. Like, girl, that behavior, none of us will stay at your house anyway. And you know, everybody know now, don't go to her house, honey, because she's on one. So I was like, okay. Envy, jealousy. You're jealous. And you're envious. And you were angry because later on, girl, that whole thing with Portia snatching up your piece, you were angry. And you validated all of what I said later on in the show. We're going to talk about it. Anyway, let's move on. Drew talked to Ralph. She talked to Ralph. And basically came on out, told him what was going on. He tried it. He tried to pull it. Old Ralphie tried to pull it. She threw Tampa right in his face. Like, I don't know what you did. I don't know what you did. He's like, what do you mean he pulled it out and all that? Well, wait a minute. Really? Really, sir? And you don't went and she's like, she threw that whole Tampa thing back in his face, and she was happy to crack his face with it. She really, really was. Moving on. Don Juan and Candy sat down together, and Candy pretty much gave us all the answers as to what really happened. That damn Don Juan gonna say, oh, Bolo done got him some social justice snatch. I said, oh my, not social justice snatch. At this point, it's like Portia can't, but Portia ain't even try to talk her way out of it. It was what it was. And girl, sure, nobody no explanation. Nobody but Dennis. I know his little feelings is probably, Dennis, is your feelings hurt? You know, men, they could take it, they could dish it, but they definitely can't take it. Dennis is probably sitting in his house right now like I'm sitting, but his face is probably like this. That's what you get. That's what you get. You did all of what you wanted to do. Is what it is. You want to play these games? These are the games that you play. Portia wasn't in the wrong. Portia was doing whatever she wanted to do. Tanya, you ain't had no business with your tongue nowhere but in your mouth. So you out of order. You should have kept your mouth shut. Literally. Should have kept your mouth shut. Before, after, and during. Anyway, moving on. So Kenya was down doing this little photo shoot, and Latoya come down, and it's like she come in like everything, brings a piece of brings a cake and all this. That got daggone Kenya went off on her. Told her, "I'd like to smash that cake in your face." I said, "Oops." She said, "You were around there being pussy whipped, and you know how we operate." I said, "Bingo, jealous." Like I said, jealous and angry. She was jealous. She was angry, and she felt like she had been pushed to the side. And he told her, "You and that Portia, you know how me and Portia like that arch nemesis thing, girl, whatever." And she didn't look. Latoya laughed. She's like, "Girl, I mean, I had a good time. I was having a good time." And then she told her, "You know, I have a crush on you. I ain't never been with a woman." Now, I don't know if I'm buying that part of this, y'all. But we going to go out. Okay, girl, for all intents and purposes. Well, okay, girl. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. But okay, girl, if that's what you say. But she admitted to having a crush on her. I said, how many seasons ago did I tell y'all this? Seasons. I hate to be the one to say I told you so, but I did. She said she was kissing. There was kissing and cunnilingus. You over there, you kissed Portia. She said, I mean, I did. I kissed Portia and I straddled her and she did come on me. I said, oh, Lord. Hashtag lesbian gate, honey. It was going down. I was like, wow, all the details. I was like, wow, y'all really out here with it. But okay. Go for it, girls. Go for it. I told y'all, honey, it was like Caligula down there at that house, honey. I said, oh my gosh. Anyway, um, that just confirmed the whole Tanya and Portia and Bolo thing for me. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. That's that. Now, here's another little mashup that I loved. Portia and Drew together. I like it. I like Portia and Drew together. I do. I was laughing my behind off, honey, when they were sitting over there. They were bonding, and here she supposed to be. Then went to the grocery store, coming right back. She pulled one of Ralph's. See, she's pulling Ralph's shit on him, and she over at Portia's having a mimosa and some donuts. I said, I know that's right. Or no, a muffin. It was a muffin with some parquet. Yeah, I was like, girl, listen, parquet or blue bonnet or what? No, she said she used blue bonnet. She had never used parquet. Listen, she's getting her some butter up in her system. Girl, go for it, honey. It's good for your butt, honey. Okay, some butter, and it'll add to your goodness, sis. But I loved seeing these two together. I did. This is like the first time, because you know Portia be getting on my nerves. Y'all know I always tell you I'm not a Portia fan. I enjoyed actually watching this. I always like looking at her because she always looks good. You know, she always looks good. But that red hair was really pretty that she had on and everything. And the both of them, they were just chilling and bonding. And I seen her mashed up with somebody that I think that it looked like they could really enjoy each other. I really like Drew and Portia together. And they had some good conversation. But when she told that lie to him on that phone, talking about, oh yeah, I'm on my way back and everything, that was funny as hell. Funny as hell. Give him just what he deserved. And then they talk about, do you believe, Portia, do you believe him about Miami? And she's like, you know, I don't know, but there's part of it where I don't really know. And then Portia led in and said, you know, it's this thing about making you feel insecure. And she's like, you know, that don't work. Once that starts happening, then you always have an issue. And, you know, Portia shared some of her stuff. They had a real live bonding girls conversation, and they're in the same age group, and some of their stuff is very you know what I mean? So yeah, I loved it. I really did love seeing those two together. I really enjoyed that. I did. Now this is where we're going to end out at, y'all. Kenya, honey. Kenya went to go see the lawyer, baby. She thought that she was really doing it up. She's talking about this whole, you know, she's slow walking this whole thing. Because Kenya, I believe in Kenya, her mind, she would really love to resolve this. Kenya doesn't want a failed marriage. She doesn't. I think she would love to resolve this and be in love and in a home with Mark and Brooklyn and live happily ever after. But it ain't going to happen. That man don't like you. That man don't like you. And you're not gonna be happily ever after with Latoya because she's just hot and young, and girl, she ain't about to settle down with you. She not gonna be a stud or nothing for you, girl. It's not gonna happen. You just gotta pick up and move on, sis, and go do what you're gonna do. But she's slow walking, and she kind of tried to have him served with some papers for custody. Okay, he ducked the process server and all of that, child. Ducked him. Meanwhile, he over there dragging her along and playing with her and basically manipulating her with some old playlist of love songs and all that, keeping her hope alive and all that. And baby, that Mark, I said, if you ain't one of us, honey, vicious, vindictive queen, honey, is what it read. He done slipped up, baby, and filed for divorce in New York, honey, and request alimony. I said, oh, girl, he got you, bitch. He got you. He cracked her whole face with that. That was so shady. And that was so underhand. That's what I said. She running around the street picking fights. Baby, the fight that you got going on at home, you losing, sis. You got a black eye right now, and your earring that been pulled out of your left ear. Your lobe is split, sis. You losing, babe. Now, her lawyer, he took it personal. He said, he done pissed me off. So he said, they done filed a motion and all that stuff. See, because you can't do it. She live in Atlanta, and you can't file in New York. You got to come on. You got to come back and do it the right way, baby. And the lawyer, he's on it. He thought it's going to be a knockdown drag out. I said, come on, lawyer, because she ain't seeing the forest through the trees. And then she said, ever look at the papers, she looked so defeated. Like I said, earlobe split, eye black, hair a mess. I said, girl, you losing, sis. You losing the fight. Losing the fight. You didn't win the fight against Latoya either, because, girl, she kind of laughed at you. She's laughed it off. And, girl, you her sugar mama, girl, so keep on giving her whatever you giving her, and you take her in whatever little doses that you can get. But, girl, you got to get in the game where it comes to your husband, because he's whooping you up, honey. He is whooping you up. And I think you'll win when it's all over. But, girl, you got to get your footing back, sis. And then windmill his ass. Anyway, all right, I done went and babbled on and carried on. It was a good show, though. I enjoyed the show. It was really good. And I babbled. I did. I ain't apologizing for it. But there was a lot of stuff in there. So talk to me in the comments. And I'll talk back to you like I always do. All right, y'all. Later.